All right. Hey, everyone. Happy Monday-Runday. Whew. All right, look at that. 2026 is still smoking. That's so cool. Let me spin this camera around. Whoops. Got my real sounds playing and everything. How's everyone doing tonight? We have about 8 people in here right now. Spin this around. My hair is a mess. Been crawling around on the floor down here getting this whole layout together. I had a bunch of stuff I had to service and all kinds of crazy stuff. All right, RJ gives the thumbs up. That's cool. All right, let's start at the top. Gus said, "Hey, Nick, do you know about the train show in..." I'm not even going to say that because I'll probably mess it up and offend someone. Yeah, RJ mentioned that. Him and we were at a train place last weekend and I actually bought the tower you guys saw for the thumbnail. So yeah, I'm completely, like, my train budget's tapped out for any type of like model railroad or toy train budget. I'm tapped out at the moment. But yeah, I'd love to go to a train show. It's just this isn't the weekend for me, unfortunately. Even I've been saying since the start of the channel, like, man, I really miss train shows. But yeah, right now I have some really big trips coming up that I need to save up for. Yeah, there RJ said, yeah, I told him about it. Yeah. Looks like a passenger night. Yeah, only 2 passenger trains. So I got the 2026 working. For any veterans of the channel, 2026, I was running it on the lower loop one day for a stream, and it threw the bolt out off its drive set. It threw that out. It threw the spacer. There's a steel spacer that goes in there right before it goes through the other drawbar into the wheel. It kicked both those out. So I ended up buying new parts, and it's crazy. So I had to retap the holes of the wheel for a 440 screw and then use a die and actually cut the screw down, because the screws that I purchased, they're actually for something that has like a collar on the screw, on the screw head. So I had to take the collar down and still follow the threading. It was pretty invasive, but she is working great. I mean, check this out. I'll spin around for you guys. Hey, Tom from Tom's Trains. We're doing well. It's been crazy, as you know. Buying stuff, not selling anything. But yeah, check this out. And she has like a little bit of wheel slip. This is the 2026. There you go. She's pulling some MTH cars tonight. Florida East Coast. And there she is back around. It's funny. So the baggage car in the set, I'll actually stop the camera right there, or the train, not the camera. This baggage car with this set is not lighted. So, which makes sense. It's a baggage car, but a lot of like Lionel baggage cars, things like that, are lighted. So, kind of interesting. It's a 90s set MTH. It's really well built. I like the way the pickups, they're thinner pickups and they're sprungs. They've really hugged that center rail, so you're not going to get any flickering or anything like that, unless there's a power drop or something like that. But it's pretty cool. Oh, RJ said waving. Yeah, sorry about that. Thumbs up, waving, same thing, right? July 17th is the next one. Why does it sound like I'll be busy that? No, sorry. It was something in June. It's not going to happen now, but yeah, it's going to be crazy. Southern Yankee says, "What's for dinner?" I'm not exactly sure yet. Nikki's on the way home, so she worked a really long day at a different store, so probably like microwave pizza, to be honest with you, unless she cooks something. Spinning the camera around. There we go. But yeah, I got this fluffy hair going today. I was up here right after work. I came up here. I had to wire up. So what you guys just saw, that's considered my side of the garden. And then where the new tower is, that's going to be Nikki's house. It's actually wired up right now. So this hasn't been wired up yet. So where the bubbling tower is, The tower's brand new. Well, at least to me, it's a 2005 reissue. My first bubbling accessory. I love these things. I had them when I was a kid. We had bubble lights everywhere. I guess it was something my grandfather did back in the day. He gave us a ton of these bubble lights. God only knows what's in them. I think it's some type of I think it's like an ammonia, something, sulfate, some nasty chemical in those things. So yeah, basically what happened was we had them everywhere, and I've always wanted the oiled derrick or whatever from Sunoco. I love Sunoco brand fuel and everything, and they're always super expensive. This tower was, I think, after the 30% off, it was like a little over $70 or so. Brand new out of the box, never been opened before. So I bid on it. It's a little pricey. I usually don't spend, like full on retail for certain items and things like that. But it is what it is. It's here. It's a bubble, and it's got the beacon light at the top. And I think it's the tallest tower on the layout, so it's pretty cool. Love that traveling N-Gage video you did. Thank you so much. I have some modifications I'd like to do. I'm going to try to get if you guys know what banana jacks or banana plugs. So instead of running the wire out the side of the box, I'm actually going to take two banana jack plugs and stick them through the box and screw them. So all you have to do is plug in the banana jack plugs to the track. So you don't have to constantly move wires around. It's literally you take that piece of track and the lock on and the wire out of the box, take it out, and you just plug it into the two prongs. And that also solves the direction problem. So if you want to change direction with DC, you just change the polarity. So you just put, red on black, black on red, or black, black, red, red. So that's the solution of that for now. I did have a modification to put a switch on there for direction. I just don't have the switches with me right now. I only have this is my electronic stuff in here. I've got like bins of like lock-ons. These are more what are these? These are like terminals for doing stuff. Like there's one right there. But where is it? Yeah, all the switches I have are just on-off toggles in this box here or container. You can see them in there. So what I really need is a 6-pin toggle, and you would just cross the back. So the center pin's off, and then the other two would change direction. But I won't worry about that. I want to make it very simple, easily traveled. I don't want anything, to happen in transit. And that was the one thing I thought about as well. Like, why did I put the plug on the outside? I should have put it on the inside, but it's gonna work, Put this back in there. Hey, Rail Fan Roger, how's it going? I'm as old as the tower. Yeah, I wish I was back in my youth. 2 utes. Be awesome. The original Lionel 2530 Railway Express baggage car didn't come up. Oh, didn't. Okay. Yeah, I've got a 1600 set Pennsylvania. It's MPC. The couplers are awful on it, but I love the cars. It was my first baggage or first passenger set ever at when I was growing up. And that I believe it had a lighted baggage car. I can actually go under there and get it. The camera's away. I can bring that out a little bit later in the stream if you guys would like. That tower is awesome. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, I love this thing. It's a fire tower. I think it's supposed to be a water tower. That's why it's bubbling blue. Like I said, my first bubbling tower brings back memories. So that was the one reason why I got it. I'm still looking for that oiled derrick, or I think it's called an oiled derrick. Still looking for one that's under like $150 because they are really cool, but they're also very loud because the little solenoid, you'll hear it kick every so often. I think it's got like it's some type of almost like a turn signal type thing. It heats up and it goes, and it's kind of distracting. But I think you can turn that off. It's wired up separately than the light, just like older Lionel stuff. So I would just have the oil or the bubble light for the yellow just going on it instead of the little oil derrick arm, I guess you'd call it. MTH uses the banana jacks on their DCS and track systems. Yes, yes, they do. I have a where is it? It's right here. It's aha. See, Lionel caught on with the cheaper transformers, where they're not cheap. They're cheap quality, but they're not cheap transformers and the money sense of things. But Lionel did start to pick those up. They put those on the ZW80s, I believe, or CW. I think it might be a CW80 transformer. They started putting those on, which I really like because all my testing rigs with the alligator clips that have banana jacks, you can just put the banana jacks in, you're good to go, instead of dealing with the alligator clips on the outside of a transformer. But my little what is this? I think it took me a while to look this up. I think this is a Z500. The Z1000 is preferred, but this will get the job done for any small loops of track, things like that. But the MTH stuff, compared to the newer Lionel, this is way ahead of its time. Because what was going on with those, I can look at it. It's driving me crazy, but it's an 80-watt transfer. I'm going to go grab it really quick. It's on the floor. All right, these guys. Set it on here. CW80. I wasn't sure if it was a ZW. I'm running the ZW here. This thing's a beast. I love it. These CW80s, for any of you rail fans out there or hobbyists, don't buy these. I'll stand behind that too. No, I don't have it out for Lionel. I like them as a company. I just think they could do better. But this transformer here, which they started throwing into their, it's heavy. It's got some weight to it. But this transformer, they came out in the 2000s to replace like the little plastic ones, the little 75 watt or 70 watt, really not really 70 watts. It was like, I think it was 70 watts at like 2.5 or 3 amps. It was really, you can't really run a whole lot of stuff with it, like compared to the newer stuff. This will run stuff, but this is the third one I've gone through. Something has happened to it. On the back, you do get an accessory. These are all banana jacks on the back. And the thing is, when you open these up, there's a inline fuse, which is really dumb. They should have put circuit breakers on these. First off, yeah, circuit breakers cost more money, but a circuit breaker will also save you guys more money from people sending these things back and saying, hey, warranty claim. So instead of doing an inline fuse, they should have put a circuit breaker on there. Second off, there are no ways to really get in here unless you have the tools that I have. These are called maintenance-free screws on the bottom, and you kind of have to go fiddling around. So yeah. Railfan Roger, what is that? A soap bottle? Oh man. Yeah, it's a mini rant. I'm just saving you guys the hassle. If you see these, don't buy them. The newer ones, I saw that they did what MTH was doing before. Put the controller side in one module and then put the power pack in another one. So that saves a little bit of the hassle, the heat and everything. But yeah, these, I had 3 of them, and right now I only have like, this one kind of works. The accessory side's dead, which is really odd. I've got another one that only has 2 prongs that came with a ready to run set. Pennsylvania Flyer ready to run with the whistling tender, nothing like rail sounds or steam sounds tender. That one died completely. And then this one, I forgot. The other thing too with this one, the whistle button is stuck in. And that's not for me, aggressively pushing this thing. It's me just doing just clicking, So the whistle button's stuck in. I've cleaned it. I've tried to get in there. It's crazy. So moving on to better, bigger and better things. This is why I got the ancient ZW transformer on the layout now, powering all my track. No worries. But anyways, let me catch up with some comments. Oh man. Let's see. MT. Okay, I saw that one. Okay, Mark train is about to depart Perryville, Maryland, about 5 minutes. That's going to be a commuter train. So Mark trains go from, I believe, the extent of a Mark train is from Aberdeen, Maryland, which is right before you cross the Susquehanna River. Then that train's going to go all the way down to Washington, D.C. At one point, I think they were going a little bit further so you could connect a train to the Virginia Transit and get into parts of Arlington. I'm not exactly sure if that's still the case, but you can take the MARC train, stands for Maryland Area Rail Commuter, which is a great train. If you guys ever want to take a ride on a train from Maryland to DC, I highly recommend the MARC train. If your conductor's really into it, he'll do the whole all aboard. They'll, honk the horn and everything. And the cool thing is for you, rail historians, they still use what they call the toaster. I forgot what model that is, but they still use toasters, which is overhead electric power train. They're called that because of their design. They have like corrugated metal on the side, has a double cab on each side as well. The cool thing with their trains too, they actually have a horn in the last car. So there's also a spotter in there too, which is really cool. Funny how you mentioned Aberdeen. I live in Aberdeen. Oh, cool. AEM7. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, the toaster. They still run them. It's really cool. And they have one at the Pennsylvania Railroad Museum that was an Amtrak. It's really cool. Hand sanitizer. Not for me. Oh, man. Use the terminal switch. Replying to Tom's comment in the chat. So use the thermal switch. Okay. Up and down, loud clicking sound. The tube got heated by the light bulb. So it's really cool. It's basic technology into these, and I love those. I love those circuits and things like that. Just so basic, but does so much, and they're so expensive because they're collectible. It's really cool how that is. Will you ever come to Perryville? Probably not. It's a little far out from at now, but it's not too bad. I have an old CW80, one few years newer. Both have a lot of slack in the throttles. Yeah, I don't know if there's a way to fix that. You can open up these and fix the rollers and fine tune things, but with those, I believe they're all electronic for the most part. The way the power section is, it's not like an analog. Well, they're both electronic, but one is electromechanical. The other one is more so electrical. If that makes sense. Let's see. Tom's train. Hopefully, the Western Maryland will be able to get. Yeah, that 1309. So yeah, everyone, I sent Tom from Tom's Trains the video of the 1309 up in Cumberland, Maryland, and it looks really rough. Like they're riding on the track, and there's a steam shooting out everywhere. But that was in January, so I'm sure they've done a lot more work since then. It's just really crazy. I want to see that engine rolling. It's funny. So there's actually a video. They put it out about 5 years ago, and it was literally a guy saying why they shouldn't fix up the 1309. And I think it was a reaction piece. I don't think it was being serious, but the way they did, if they were going for that, they did a great job. It was a whole cringe video. Basically, someone was saying, why they shouldn't refurbish the 1309. I'm just sitting there like, what? Like, what are you talking about? The comments were rough. I think it had a ton of dislikes. I couldn't believe it. But yeah, it was really funny. So 1309 is it's not an Allegheny engine, it's a mallet steam engine, and it's basically a 2662 that Would be awesome to see. It'd be like I think it'd be the largest operating steam engine on the eastern seaboard when it gets completed and open for excursions. I'm not sure when that's going to happen. They've been working on her for I think almost since I've been in like my first years of college. Like they were starting to work on it. It's been about 5 or 6 years, I think. But yeah, they got to get that. They got to get that going. Yeah, 1309. Oh yeah, we salute you. Yeah, toaster salute. Oh man, they're fast. I was on a Mark train. Change the subject a little bit. I was on a Mark train and I have an app on my phone. For anyone who didn't know, there's an app on your phone. It's actually a speedometer, and you can use that. I use it when I'm on trains, on roller coasters, and things, just to see how fast you are going, and it's a lot of fun. And I think it said around 107 or so. So that was pretty fast. Nikki was with me on that one too. We were on the basically it's a straight stretch of track going into Baltimore, and we hit some really fast speeds. It was at least 100. It was really crazy. But we got to DC in about I think it was like an hour and some change. And I'd take a train to DC. I'd rather do that than worry about parking and doing that. And then once you get there, you take the subway around everywhere. Their transit system. It's very efficient. It's pretty safe. Depending on which line you're on, you won't have any issues. So it's pretty cool. But yeah, real fan Roger. I'm not a huge fan of the N&W Hooter whistle. I think I'm more of a tone person, if that makes sense. I like to hear some tritone whistles and things like that. I'm not a huge fan of the hoot. It's just an opinion. If you guys are into it, that's your thing. But I'm just not really into the N&W Hooters. The collar on the red handle turns internal. Oh, it cracks. Okay. Yeah, you might have to open that up if you can. If you got to use the I think it's a hex head screw or something crazy. They don't want people messing around with this stuff. They want you to return it. Us kids get into stuff, like I'm a big kid. I like taking stuff apart. If something's wrong, I'm going to try to fix it. And if I can't fix it, I'll try to find a broken one that I can take the parts out of until I can fix it. So that's just the way I am. I've been like that for a while. And that's part of why I got into this hobby. There's so many things you can salvage, kit bash and wire up certain things different ways, and you always learn things too. So it's really cool. I mean, it's a great community. Like for the most part, the community is accepting, and it's what you want to make of it too. You don't have to model something. You don't have to have the fanciest train guard. And you have a loop of track in your living room, and that's what you like to do. That's what you like to do. I mean, I like collecting stuff and making sure it works. And one thing one of my basic principles right now, because I moved into my own place, it's basically if I'm going to use it, I'll hold on to it. If I'm not going to use it, I'll get rid of it. So I have accessories and things like that I'd love to use, but I don't want to hoard onto them or keep them in a box for 20 years or whatever. I've got some room for stuff now. I have the new yard and some open spaces on the right side and up top. But if I'm not going to use it, I'm going to get rid of it. So, and let someone else enjoy it. Nikki's here. Surprise. Better late than never. I think she just walked in downstairs. So she might come up and say hi or something like that. We'll have to see. Real Fan Roger, 1309, 1218 are both 2662. I'm not sure. I know 1309 is. I'm not sure if the 1218 is, but I think 1309 is a Baldwin, and they're very proud of that. They actually said on the side, Baldwin Locomotive Works, with like a big banner covering up the really badly painted like CNO. But it was chipping down and everything. But yeah. Just got information from the Union Pacific Steam team today that the Big Boy 4014 will resume excursions. Hey, that'd be really cool to check out. I'd like to see one working, and For anyone who didn't know, Steamtown's Big Boy is now on display. It is a static piece, meaning it does not run, but it is fully refurbished. Check out RJ78 Productions video on that. I still have to check out that locomotive. It was there when I was a kid. I was a little yay tall on the ground, and the Big Boy was there, and it wasn't. I don't know if it was working or not, but they had some larger locomotive there steaming away. But it's been a long time since I've seen it. I've been at Steamtown now 3 times in my lifetime. And the last time I was there, we basically stopped by to check out some Delaware Lackawanna engines that were fired up and moving. And it was a good meeting spot first. And then after that, we went to a different location to film. Hey, David Stevens, welcome to the channel. How's it going? Welcome to Monday-Runday. Correction, a 1218 is a 2664. Holy crap. Yeah, the largest engine I've been on, like physically gone in the cab and seen everything, is at the B&O, and they have, it's called an Allegheny. I think it's a 2666. Yeah, 2666. So that is engine number. I forgot the engine number, but it is I believe it's a B&O engine. It's giant. It barely fits in their car shop. And that's meant for several cars to be built and worked on at a time. But there's just a giant steam engine just hanging out there. Unfortunately, I don't think it'll ever run again. A lot of their steam engines are in horrible shape, but they are protected. So hopefully the decay is slowed down and everything. But it's still cool to see. And you can actually go in the cab of that one and kind of mess around with some of the controls and things like that. But a lot of things are frozen on there. Oh, cool. Nikki's going to come up and say hello after she gets more settled in. So it's cool. 1218 is a 2664. Okay. John Doe, if you go to Steamtown, make sure to go to the Alfredo's Pizza. Hey, I love pizza. Dunder Mifflin's preferred pizza parlor. Yeah. Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, the trolley museum there was pushing a lot. Oops, dropped the I had a steak. They're pushing a lot of Dunder Mifflin merch at the Electric City Trolley Museum, or Streetcar Museum. Awesome museum. I did do a little bit of filming there, but I didn't want to use it. We were kind of rushed because we showed up when they were closing, and yeah, it wasn't a quality video, so it's been lost. You guys will have to go and check it out yourself. But yeah, it's I think it's $5 a person, and all of their fees go to restoring some of their beautiful streetcars. But yeah, I've got a couple events coming up that I'll be at for other channels. I'll tell you guys in a little bit. Wait for a little bit more people to come in. But got some crazy stuff going on. May is like completely booked. Like I barely have enough time to breathe. It's gonna be crazy. So you guys will get tons of new content coming out. I'll still be here on Monday-Runday lives, but it won't be as much of railroad, at least up here in the studio type videos. It's going to be on-site type videos because winter is no longer here and I can actually go outside and explore. I will do a couple of Nick's reviews thrown in there, but right now my scheduling is like insane. Like I was not expecting to be this busy, but I've got friends, all over my YouTube family, as I call them, basically saying, "Hey, you want to check this out?" It's like, yeah, sure. So it's going to be insane. Hey, Randall, how's it going? Hopefully you're staying safe out there. Biggest locomotive I've rode was a 611. Yeah, so that's another thing that changed too. So originally I was going to be at Strasbourg on the 22nd of May, and this actually changed today. So 611 will be there starting May 22nd, and it's doing I'm calling it a residency until October. That's as of now. I'm probably subject to change. I know it's a very strict schedule for 611, but on the 22nd of May, I'll actually be up in Centralia, Pennsylvania, doing a walkthrough tour for another channel. And the only reason why that changed so fast, the gentleman in charge of that meet and greet, he's actually moving away to a different state. So I didn't want to miss it. Like well, there's past videos with him. It's Adam Tereska. He is very knowledgeable of the area. He has a book of notes. He knows every location there. He can tell you what things were. Like, it's insane. And he knows all the safe spots to go. Centralia is not the safest place in the world, but he is extremely knowledgeable with the area. But he is moving away, unfortunately. So, oh God, I rhymed. So yeah, I'll be at that location, and then hopefully that Sunday I'll be at Strasbourg filming. So a little bit of different plans. Things happen, like when you have a channel, things change on a dime. But I really don't want to miss Adam's presentation of Centralia. It's such an amazing experience from what I've heard. He does a great job. I've seen tons of videos of him doing his tour. So yeah, so that changed today. That Sunday, I'm hoping to be at Strasbourg to catch 611 early, even though YouTube is going to be flooded with 611 videos. I know it. And people staying from all over the country in Lancaster. So I'll be prepared. I'm going to show up at the crack of dawn, Tom's Trains. Steamtown, USA was originally located in Bellows Falls, Vermont, before it moved to Scranton. Wow. Saw a big boy there for the first time. Wow, that's really cool. Saw the Frisco 1522 at Thayer in 1994 when it was hauling the Peach Blossom Special. Wow, that sounds like a song. Sounds like a Johnny Cash song. Hoping I can make it through work. Yeah, work would say otherwise. Yeah, if Nikki's off that day, she will be joining me at Centralia. She really wanted to go the last time. And then the day that Adam planned to do the meet and greet, it snowed 2.5 feet. So that was canceled. So yeah, I'll be up there. Hey, Knights Right, how's it going? But yeah, it's been crazy. May is completely booked. I've got some other surprises for you guys. Actually, this past weekend, I was with again RJ78 Productions. We went to, it's called Pottstown, Pennsylvania, and then we went to the, oh God, I'm gonna mess this up, Calderbrook Town Railroad. I believe that's the name of it, and it's a beautiful railroad. Oh God. Had a disaster of a stream, so just sulking in the corner. Hey, blame Heath. It's all good, man. Hey, welcome. Everyone's welcome here. We're not judging you. And I've had my fair share of tech difficulties and everything. So, but yeah, hopefully this some relaxing experience. Charlie Daniels had an Orange Blossom special. Okay. Is JP still going to Altoona? I hope so. It's his meet and greet. It's a JP's meet and greet at Altoona. Yes, I'll be there. I'll be at that meet and greet. I'm going to stay the night in Altoona. I'm bringing my portable train set as you all may have seen. That video is up. I got it in a box, and I don't want to jostle it now. The track's out of it. I have to take those cars out and swap them with some other cars. But yeah, that was an awesome idea. It worked. I'm going to mod it and everything. But my trains are coming with me to Altoona. It's going to be awesome. Got pictures of me with the locomotive. Yeah, I'd love to see a Frisco. I mean, that's Foreign ground compared to what I'm used to seeing and all that stuff around me. Like I don't see BNSF, I don't see Frisco, I don't see Atlantic East Coast, Union Pacific. Actually, I see a little bit of UP, like actual UP cars, like auto loaders and stuff in Baltimore. They'll share their cars. We get like Canadian National. We'll get CN, CP, UP cars. CSX is actually they're the operating line, but what are the other ones I've seen? I've seen a bunch of just odds and ends auto loader cars on the CSX, so it's crazy. Desk protector, yeah, yeah. Don't forget my idea. What was the idea? I'm sorry. But yeah, so basically, I've we went to here's Boulder Creek. If you see CSX, you have a possibility to see UP. Yeah, I've seen a lot of UP auto loaders, and that's pretty much it. Not so much not so much locomotives. I have never seen a UP locomotive, at least when I was in Baltimore. UP locomotives end up over on CSX from time to time. Oh, that's really cool. Oh, the horseshoe curve at the horseshoe curve. I don't know if that's going to happen because I'm on a really tight budget right now because of all these trips coming up. It's going to be amazing. I had some things happen, of course, life and everything, bills, all that fun stuff, for all you big kids out there that know what that's like, paying bills and everything. You want to buy a train or something. It's like, I got to wait. I got to wait like a little bit more. But basically, May, you guys are going to see a lot of railroad related videos. This weekend, I'm going to a location, possibly going to a location. I have to check with some things. That's going to be more of an abandoned location, not railroad related. But this past weekend, we went to a railroad and we were able to do a cab tour of a GP38. It was a high hood locomotive. And it was actually the cab was in long hood forward, which is really cool as well. And we talked to the engineer, and that was at the Calder Brookdale Railroad in Boyertown, Pottstown area, Pennsylvania. It was an amazing railroad. Their cars are like pristine. It's like going back in time. They ran a dinner train for Mother's Day, which was expensive, but for the experience, and it's about 2 hours on the rails from a location. But they allowed us to film a cab tour and also told us some other locations to catch the train. And they ran a GP38 in the back, and then at the front of the train they ran a GP9, which used to be a Pensy, and the GP38 was in Norfolk Southern livery. The NS was kind of painted out in some spots, but they're going to repaint that as well. It's really cool. We had a great time. The staff there, give them a shout out. I mean, you guys were great. We were just sitting on the side on a old loading dock with the tracks below our feet, and it wasn't a using track. The train was actually on another track, stopped. It's a scenic railroad and everything. This does a little bit of freight. We're sitting there, and then one of their attendants, I think it was like a program director, walked up and said, "Hey, are you guys getting great shots? You having a great time?" We're like, "Yeah." And RJ jokingly said, he's like, "I wish we could get a cab tour or something like that." And the guy said, he went on his radio. He's like, "Let me call the engineer." He said, "Hey, can you see these guys?" And the engineer waved at us, and then he opened up the cab door, and then we went. So you guys will see a video of that. Amazing railroad. I love their paint scheme. Their cars are pristine. I mean, it's like riding in a first class dining car. They had an open air car that is included. You can walk out onto it, catch some views before or after you're done your dinner, I guess, or if you're just riding in coach, just walk outside. Some people like smoking cigars. So it's awesome. Awesome railroad. Close to Pottstown. Wow. Awesome. Yeah, I love that area. It's my first time up there. It's around RJ's area town. but it was really cool. Let me see some other comments I missed. Something has happened. Internet signal a little difficult to keep up with the stream. It's all good. No worries. We're still here. Horseshoe curve at horseshoe curve. Okay, I saw that. So the comments have reverted themselves. Of course, technology at its best. What is on your want list? What is the next item that you're looking to purchase? So, as of right now, I won't tell you guys where to find it so you don't buy it. I'm looking at a Proto Sound 2 or 3. I'm not sure what it was, but it is a oh god, I think it was an E33 locomotive, electric locomotive. It was on eBay for a crazy price. It's a salesman sample. I'm looking at that next. If it's still there, I'm going to buy it. If it's not, oh well. But I've been finding like some weird, like prototypical or not prototypical, prototype pieces from MTH that are going for crazy low prices on eBay. It's actually where I got the same seller as where I got the new Baldwin, which I'm running again today. I love this thing. No guarantee you'll see UP leases their stuff to CSX, vice versa. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. I've seen a lot of weird cars because there's a CSX line that runs in back of my work, and I always see like different railroad cars. Like, let me see. There was one on here. It was I don't know if it was a Kansas City Southern car. I took a picture of it. It was just kind of like, huh, that's really odd. Or like not odd, but I just didn't recognize the road name of it. Let's see. Here it is. It was called Wisconsin Central. This is the car. If it auto focuses. Oh, come on. So close. Oh. Wait, hold up. Let me do this trick. It's trying to so hard. There it is. Kind of. Yeah, I've never seen a Wisconsin Central car ever. I never even heard of that railroad, and I took a picture of it. I was like, "Wow!" The train was stopped, and yeah, it was just really cool. Yeah, like I said, Pottstown was great. Great area town. I really enjoyed. Oh guys, Boyerstown as well. I'd hate to get these names wrong because I was there for like all day. We went to a train store in Boyerstown called Ye Old Train Shop. They're actually relocating to the Colder Brooks Colder Colder Brooksdale Railroad, that area. So it's great. They had some stuff marked down. It's actually where I got the new water tower. So great shop. He's moving, I think, in July, and RJ recommended that. We checked it out. He bought a lot more stuff than I did, spent a lot more money, but it was a great time. That was actually a second day in a row back to that train shop. Excuse me. Let's see. Missed a couple comments. Brian Rock Rail fan. Hey, welcome to the channel. Good evening. I hear the train come through Royer Spring City all the time, but don't know the schedule. Huh. It might be the same train I'm talking about if you're near Pottstown. But it was an amazing train. Their schedule is online. I think they run weekends, but then they also do so their line crosses route Pennsylvania Route 100. It crosses right over like the I think it's like 4 or 6 lanes of traffic. It just cuts right through. Amazing. Let's see. I missed a couple comments. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up, guys. I'm sorry. WC is now part of the CN. Wow, that's like I looked it up. I think the Wisconsin Central, like as soon as I saw the car, I looked it up. It said I think it disbanded in the late 80s or so, or early to mid 90s. I wasn't exactly sure on that one. I was just curious. I mean, I like the like it had the shield on there. It was really cool. Let's see. Might run my HO scale train. Hey, go right ahead. Wisconsin Central was a neat railroad, one of my favorites. Yeah, it's like it's it's really cool when you discover a new railroad. It's like, wow, where was that or what did they do? So I'll definitely have to look at that. Tom's Trains, any progress on your 1684? I'll get to that in a little bit. I'll show I'll show you guys the dilemma that I'm in. It's been a headache. So, but yeah, it is what it is. The old train shop on Route 100, cool little place. Where are they moving to? So they're actually going to move to that railroad I was telling you guys about in Boyerstown. So it's gonna be really cool. You'll have a railroad. Well, there's another hobby shop up the street. I think it's Route 70, 74 or 72 that cuts through town. It's going to move right in that railroad space right in there. So you can go on a train and then buy some trains. So how cool is that? There's another train shop that's in walking distance up the street, but they are competitors. So I can vouch for Ye Old Train Shop. Great little store. Amazing prices on the used stuff. The newer stuff, you're going to pay new prices. So don't be surprised on that. Hey, Brian, thanks for stopping by. Sorry, I just saw the comment pop up. Have a great night. Thank you so much for stopping by. Randall, hang on. I got a photograph of a BNSF 25 anniversary. Jeez. No, that's awesome. Oh, Randall just sent it to me. Isn't that amazing? That's technology right there. So cool. He sent it through Facebook. So if you guys haven't checked out our Facebook page, definitely send a like and follow the page. You'll be caught up on current events, locations, things like that. If anything happens, like if I'm canceling a stream or anything like that, you guys will be notified through Facebook. So definitely check that out. Wow. So Randall sent this BNSF ES 44 AC 6078 BNSF 25th anniversary scheme at Thayer, Missouri. That is a good looking machine. If I ever saw one. Oh, please autocorrect on this one. You guys can kind of see it. Oh, come on. There you go. That is so cool. And they put everything on there. They have all the railroads, I guess they can consumed. Wow. Yeah, that is a pretty piece. Thank you so much for sending that. But yeah, the Facebook is like the best way until we get 1,000 subs, which is another way. We need 1,000 subs. I'll have the community tab on YouTube, and that will be updated frequently. And I plan to do like YouTube shorts and things like that of running days and things like little projects, how to's. Until that happens, you guys are gonna have to stick to Facebook. I know a lot of people don't like Facebook at the moment. I'm not a huge fan of it, to be honest with you, but it's just a way for the channel. I don't post anything other than channel stuff on that Facebook. So you guys won't be like spammed or, no politics or anything like that on the Facebook. So, yeah. Real fan Roger, I'm going to get some shots of my train. Hey, that sounds awesome. Yeah, I love doing that, taking pictures of the trains on the layout or even out, outside. It's a lot of fun. Thanks for saying. Yeah, thank you so much, Randall. That was awesome. That, like I said, that is a beautiful machine. Boulder Creek. I'm annoyed how locked down the community tab is. Yeah, me too. I need 1,000 subs, which isn't a bad thing. I'm on the route for 1,000. I think we're almost at 280 right now. I'm very thankful. Thank you all for supporting the channel and being here every Monday night and watching the videos and everything. But yeah, we're on the route to 1,000. I'm hoping by like August, that might be pushing it, but we'll get close. I'll be close by August. I'm just throwing it out there. Not sure if anyone heard, but Union Pacific announced that they expect 4014 to return. Yes. Yeah. I think Tom mentioned that earlier. It's going to be awesome. Scale Trains is also doing an HO scale rivet of all 10 road numbers. Wow. Yeah, same Boulder Creek. The same here. I would like to have the community tab open. Like if something comes up on a Monday, if I have to cancel the stream or just pictures and things like that to show you guys, or like upcoming events, meetups, and things like that. I am planning on doing a meetup later this summer, but I'm trying to decide where because a lot of my viewers are scattered all over the place, and yeah, but it most likely will be at. I'm assuming like it's gonna be a public place, obviously, but I'm thinking Strasbourg just because it's Strasbourg. So yeah, um, but that's gonna be later this summer when things kind of calm down a little bit. TV Tech, are you going to the Hoodstown train show? Unfortunately, probably not, just because I spent my train budget this month. It's been a very expensive month for train stuff. Yeah, Heath is right. Yeah, it'd be nice just to make a quick post. Yeah, I agree. I mean, nothing too crazy, just pictures or hey everyone type of thing, or tune into. It'd be really nice. So because then you don't have to deal with yeah, Facebook's cool if you guys ever want to send a message to me or anything like that. Facebook is really nice for that. But the business app that I have to use for messaging through the page, it's not a good app. It really has its limitations, and messaging is a nightmare on the business app. The Messenger app is great, um, but I really don't add people unless I meet them, type of thing. So that's just where I stand because there's a lot of it's the internet. It is what it is. As never mind, not gonna say it. Someone sent me a message that I'm friends with on Facebook. I'm not going to point out. I'm not going to point out any names or show anyone or cancel anyone out. So it's all good. Oh man. But anyways, yeah, YouTube Shorts. Has anyone used YouTube Shorts other than Boulder Creek Yard? I haven't yet. I'm debating on it, but I don't know if it really helps. Um, I guess in a way it turns in it. If anyone remembers like Vine and like TikTok now, I don't use TikTok. Nikki has TikTok. I don't have time for that, but uh, but yeah, I guess it's like their version of TikTok, just doing shorts and things like that. And then most of the YouTube shorts I've seen, it's like trees falling on cars and like thunderstorms, like really dumb stuff. That's not even people I'm subscribed to. It's just random algorithm videos, like this week on shorts type of thing. Got a lot of view time off of it. Okay, yeah, I'll test it out. Maybe I'll make some shorts, something like that. Be really cool. I did one short last week, but I didn't get a lot of views. Others I know say it helps, but I haven't seen the benefits yet. Yeah, I'll have to definitely check it out. You could get 1 million subs, but they never watch another video. Oh man. Stolen TikTok. Yeah. Yeah, Gemma's the boss. Sometimes. I haven't let her up here in a while because she has been trying to go in the tunnels, and I now have a ton of wiring in my tunnels. Um, since I've got the lights, I'll spin you guys around a little bit and show you some stuff. Let's see if Tom is still here. Hopefully, I don't see him in the sidebar there, the participants tab, but sometimes that comes up a little bit later. So, anyways, what Tom was saying, actually, the comments just sped up again. I'm just trying to catch up again. I did one announcing remote ops and 3 views for got 2,000 views 3 days after. Huh. Yeah, I'll try it out. I mean, if you guys want to see some shorts, I'll film some shorts. That's cool. Can't hurt anything. I mean, just doing like smaller videos and things like that. Maybe the train's going around. The other thing is too, it'd be cool to match up some trains to music. And if it's under, what's it, like 15 seconds, I could play some like rock music or metal music or something as the train's rolling through town or something. But we'll do our best. But what Tom from Tom's Trains was talking about, I purchased a well, let's see, it's like the latest pre-war steam engine in my entire collection, and it's a switcher engine, and it basically, yeah, metal and trains, yeah, like some hair metal, hence the hair and all that. I'd love to play some like Van Halen or something and let the trains roll around, but I don't want to get like copywritten stuff for playing Van Halen. And it's like one of the greatest rock bands of history, modern history. I can't play it on my trains. All right. So, anyways, the 3% of the subscribers watch my videos yet. I have 1,000 views on. That's just how it is sometimes. Yeah, I've got some videos. I've got a like the banjo signal I have. That's the most viewed video in my entire channel, and I think it's like 1.4K. But as you guys know, I've got a little over 270 some subscribers. So it's just funny how that plays out. But I wish I had 1.4K subs. It'd be great. Be really awesome. But people probably just looked it up how to wire it up. But it probably helps someone out to try to hook up the banjo signal, which is, I will spin you guys around for that. Where is it? There it is. Right next to, you guys can see it right there. So 1.4K just for that signal right there. But I'm hoping it helps someone out. I'm really hoping that they got it working. They were able to wire her up and had a great time. I wired it up using the outer rail. So when the cars are on the track, it completes the circuit, runs off track power. It's considered a block and it works. But I'm hoping, like I said, the purpose of the video is to share my knowledge of the railroad stuff and some of the Lionel stuff. So I'm really hoping it helped people out, and they got something from it. So, I mean, that's the best way to say that. All right. So I'm going to show you guys what I've been working on. I won't be doing a video on it. I was going to do a video, and oh, the algorithm does what it yeah. Those darn computers. So yeah, I bought a steam engine. Wasn't planning on it. I showed up at Strasburg Train Shop and bought a 1940s pre-war engine. The crazy thing is it uses the same motor as my 1688s. It's got the plastic bottom. That video will be coming out too. I did a 1688 video, and you guys, I'll give you a hint for the thumbnail. Just to show you how many 1688s that I own that work. That's the other part too. I own 12. 6 of them work. Here's the unedited thumbnail of that. There's my fleet. If it's going to autofocus again, there you go. So that's the fleet. The video I did was basically explaining all of the different variations because each one's a little bit different than the other, and they changed this on this one but didn't do it on this one. And I have a Lionel Jr. down there, which I've never even seen before, and crazy stuff like that. So yes, yes, those are at Split Rock. Yes, they are all they're all K4S locomotives, all pre-war Lionel. They all work. Some of them, 5 of them are called 1688s. That's their road number. And then the last one on the right is a 1668, which instead of doing the 242 wheel arrangement, the 1668 is a 262. The funny thing is, even when Lionel built the K4, the 2025 in the late 1940s, they still left it as a 262, which a real K4, and I only know this because I'm a huge Pensy fan. The actual K4 is a 462, give or take modifications here and there. And also, I actually read something recently. Every K4 ever built by not Lionel, by I always mess up saying it. It's the shops up in Altoona, Juniata shops. They were always different because they started making them in the early 1900s. I think it was like 1906 or something like that. That's when the first K4s rolled out, up until the end of the steam era. So each K4 is a little bit different, which is funny because my K4Ss, each one is a little bit different. So interesting how that played out. Thanks, Jamie. My dad has a 1940s or 1688 at his house. Parents' house. Both of them still live there. I gave it to him as a parting gift when I moved out. So, it was funny. He's like, "Can I have at least one that works?" And I said, "Yes." And the whole story behind that, I'll tell you guys, give you a sneak peek. I had a black one, which is a 1940s, and there's really not a whole lot of information on these 1688s. You kind of have to search through them, and people just say, "Yeah, late 1930s pre-war locomotive." That's all they say. So we had a 1688 black fly off the train garden, thanks to my dog at the time. God rest his soul. He's been dead for a long time. He put his giant nose on the track and there it goes off the platform. Hit the ground in a million pieces. So ever since then, my dad and I were looking at train shows. We never found parts. The motors were still good. These motors never die. You could throw them in water and they'll still work. Kept all the wheels and everything. Everything was fine except the shell. Then we found out the E unit, which is your reverser, were in different spots. They moved them from the front to the middle to the back, in between. It was nuts. So then I got into a buying craze. I ended up buying one every time I saw one at a train show, antique shop. So now I have 12 in total. Really 13 if you count the one at my dad's place or his train layout. 6 of them work, and the rest are in pieces. I've got a whole other box of them back there in pieces. It's crazy how that works. Split Rock said, they never made it a 462. Yeah, I was wondering that too. Other than just, I'm not really sure. Maybe it was like manufacturing the parts. But even my, where's my K4? It's down there somewhere. My 2025 is down there somewhere. I promise. It's one of my favorite locomotives. I got the aluminum stack, smokestack on there, so it makes it nice and early. I think it's a third rendition or third variation. But yeah, it's very odd. They never went the 462 because they caught flack for it. Lionel did catch a lot of crap for that one. Even back then, I remember reading, it was an older gentleman on YouTube doing an interview of his collection. And he even complained as a kid. He's like, this doesn't make sense. His father worked for the Pennsylvania Railroad. And he's like, why is it different? And they're just like, well, it's Lionel. It's a toy. So it's interesting. You know what I mean? It's just really odd. But that's a great point at Split Rock. I mean, that's really cool. Let's see. Uh, Randall said, gonna jump off for a bit. Me and Cheyenne get. Yeah. Yeah, no problem. Mail call video. Hey. One day I hope to do those. I'm just afraid what you guys are going to send me. But yeah, take care. We'll be here for a while. It's only early. That's the best time. That's the best time I can say. Oh geez. Hey Ray, how's it going? Welcome to the channel. Yeah, we're just talking about old antique toy trains. All kinds of other stuff too. But hey, I'm gonna grab that engine. Stay here for a second, grab another drink. It is really hot up here tonight. We had the heat on, and all the heat rose up to the attic, which is great, but not when I do the stream. So let me grab that engine. It's in decent shape. It just needs some help. So let's see. See if I can find it. All right. Whew. All right, so here we go. Hey, Boulder Creek, thank you so much for stopping by. Have a great night. Have a great week. So this is the engine that Tom from Tom's Trains was talking about. This is a 1684. I had to look at the number again. Sorry about that. And this is, I think it's the predecessor to the Lionel Scout. And it runs like the motors in these will never die. It's just everything else on it is just a mess. And I know how to fix these. It's just a parts problem. So first comes first. The wheel on this side, if you hear that crunch, that's because whoever owned this before most likely didn't lubricate the gears, and the gears are all eaten away. So the center gear slips, which means on these, this is your timing. See, I just it's locked up now. So that whole timing is messed up because the gear isn't, calibrated properly. So now my side rods are locking this engine up. Then also because of that, these wheels will see this, the wheel gap in here. Let me do that. The actual bearing in here is completely gone. So I have a motor at my parents' place. I'm going to bring over here whenever I'm there next. Going to grab a motor. And then, oh God, what do you say? Being a Lionel modeler means you're a repair person as well. Yeah. For the old stuff, I know the old stuff very well, like post-war, pre-war stuff. Sweet. NPC stuff, all right, I can get through. And unfortunately, with NPC stuff, it's mostly replace. You can't really. I don't mind NPC. We talked about this last week. I apologize. I forgot who asked the question of what do you think of NPC? I don't mind it. Like it's all right. Some of it's better than others. It's just a weird era in Lionel. There are some things that are better than others in the NPC collection. But when I go to restore like a post-war engine, like I've got the K4 sitting up on the desk, I can actually take a tool to this. I can tap screws. I can do a lot more metal work to these compared to the NPC stuff, especially if it's plastic. So NPC, the best way I can say is if the motor goes, you have to replace it. If anything else, E-unit wise, I usually just replace it. I don't worry about rewinding anything like that. But old Lionel stuff, you can take a tool to it. You can do some, some actual retooling on these. Like I said, 2026 up top, I retapped screws. I used a die and retap the threads for the wheel to match a 440 screw, and then I used a die to take down the lip or the collar on a screw, so it's all threaded, all the way threaded down. Stuff like that. I don't know if you could do that with MPC, but for the most part, I think they're a decent quality build, bulky style locomotive. John Doe said, I've got an HO Bachmann Streamliner K4. I can change the whistle to any sound file that Bachmann makes. Uh-oh. Got all kinds of... Not going to say anything. It's the same person antagonizing me on Facebook. Oh my God. It's all good. I've got an HO Bachmann Streamline, so you can change the sounds. Currently pulls a B&O consist and sounds like a B&O locomotive. I didn't know you could do that with that stuff. It's really cool. A friend of mine just bought a K4 Pensy set. I'm not sure who the manufacturer was, but I wonder if he could do the same exact thing. So, oh, Real Fan Rogers back. Welcome, welcome. So this is the K4 post-war. Man, this is heavy in a good way. It's like it's got some weight to it. And this is the K4 Lionel made. This is, I think, a variation 2. Variation 1 had a rubber stamp up top, and then it had a different road number on the front compared to what the 2025 says. The front of this one says 2025. This is 2025 here. And then it said the second variation was, I think it said 2025 up front in silver, not the keystone colors up at the front. And then this keystone's missing, which is very common. So I think my phone is drunk because it thinks a train is a boat. Yeah, trains don't float primarily. I wouldn't test that out. A lot of people have. They've fallen off bridges and they don't work so well as a boat. Yeah, modeling and repairs. Yeah, they go hand in hand. I mean, I've learned so many skills in this hobby, just basic wiring and engineering skills and tooling, all kinds of crazy things I've learned in this hobby. So anyways, let's get to running some trains. I think if you guys are veterans of the channel, so to say, or the streams, you probably have seen some of these locomotives. I've got my new Baldwin on the second track. I still can't walk away from her. It's such a great locomotive. Sounds amazing. And oh God. All right, Heath is giving me crap through Facebook because I got an Orioles hoodie on. Those poor Orioles, whatever. I haven't watched the game this year. To anyone, any baseball fans, I just haven't had the time. Oh, that's a great question. And hey, Lackawanna, how's it going? Hopefully you're doing well. DB Tech says, how do you tell the difference between heat stamped and rubber stamped numbers on a Lionel? Okay, so I'll actually show you guys before I start running stuff. It's sometimes hard to tell, but I can actually show you on this locomotive. I've turned the lights on a little bit. Well, actually, I'll turn the camera light on. It's amazing. Fancy technology. All right, so these are heat stamped. If it zooms in, there you go. That's heat stamped. And when you get to rubber stamping, see how like the heat stamp is kind of flush with the model. That's the best way I can tell you with that. I have only 2 locomotives that are rubber stamped, and I'll show you that. Let me go grab it. Actually, here's another This would be another heat stamp style logo. There you go. Not raised up or anything like that. And then this is rolling around on the floor. This locomotive is rubber stamped logo. You can see it looks like it's raised a little bit, peeling off. That's very common with these. You can see it's very worn in the wear parts. You're not supposed to really handle these all the time, but these are rubber stamp. And for anyone who doesn't know, basically that's just the way that they would apply the logos on toy trains back in the day. A great example is like the early GG1s that Lionel were making. If you find one that's original stamped, it won't have any stripes on it. I guarantee it. If there are stripes on it, they're gonna be very faint because the stamping, it's literally like a rubber stamp off of like a postage note type of decal, and those would wear off just over time. They'd fall off, or picking it up, putting it down. So there was actually a famous artist, I think in the 1960s or 70s, that was actually repainting post-war GG1s with the full paint scheme and everything. And apparently, if you have one of those, it's considered a high ticket item. I believe, what's his name? I should know this. Jake from Country Bunkers Trains. I was trying to think of his name, not the channel. Country Bunker has repainted GG1s from that particular artist. He did an entire video on it. So yeah, it's crazy. It's a crazy, crazy story with the rubber stamping. This one, my K4 is heat stamped. Still wears off in some places, but not as bad as before. Heath, did someone say GG1? If I did not buy so many GG1s, I could have easily bought the new computer. Yeah, I only have one GG1 in O scale. I've got another one in N scale. So you left my stream and someone ran a GG1. All right, so I'm going to run trains now. So I got the Baldwin from last week on the track. I can't, like I said, love that engine. Runs great, sounds great. I love the smoking unit in that diesel. I'm actually thinking about modding some of my other diesels with smoke units. On the outer track, got my E7s, my B&O E7s that I love them so much. They're like this long, crazy cool locomotives. Pull in a set of passenger cars. And then up top, I've got the 2026, which is a Prairie engine, not like the K4. K4's Penske Prairie engine. I believe they were a little bit all over the place. They're pulling some Atlantic East Coast cars, which are awesome. Love those. And I forgot to mention the Baldwin's is pulling some mixed Pennsylvania freight cars. Some are scale cars, some are not. So a little mix and match. Lackawanna, did you get a Lackawanna engine yet? I did not, but I was actually going to purchase one. I found one and it sold, which is really annoying because it was a great price. It was a I don't want to get this wrong. It's an F7 ABA set from MTH on eBay. It was $300. Proto Sound 2, everything, the works, had smoke, everything sold. It was on auction as well. And it had to buy it now for $300. And I think the auction went up to like 4 something. The last time I checked it, it was gone. And that was a little bit ago. But I'm actually looking at, I want to get a new steam engine. So if I do get a Lackawanna, it's going to be a steam engine. My Eries, I have an Erie before it was Erie Lackawanna that you guys saw with the rubber stamp. It is what it is. It's all good. eBay has tons of other treasures that, are on there right now that I can't afford, and future treasures. So let's get these trains a rolling. Let's see. Also up top, I got the new accessory bubbling in the corner. Give you guys a nice shot of that. There you go. Bubbling up a storm. Look at that. So yeah, that's my new water tower with the beacon on top. I'll move the camera in a little bit later in the run session. And I have Nikki's house finally lit up there. Yeah, Lackawanna. I was actually looking at a Camelback. I didn't know if that was what I saw or not. I know it sounds really dumb to say, but I wasn't sure if I saw a Camelback in Lackawanna. But I don't own a Camelback, so if I do get a Camelback, it'll either be Jersey Central, Pennsylvania, or Lackawanna. So those are my three three choices there. Uh, Nick, I have a set of Erie FA alcoves. It was a custom painted by Chuck Laddick. He was a Lynchburg hobby shop operator. Is that the same? Now, is that the same artist that was painting the GG1s? I don't know if that was the guy that Country Bunker was talking about, but it might be the same artist that was doing all the custom work on GG1s. So, but anyways, let's get these trains are rolling. A little bit of wheel slip on the 2026. There we go. Oh yeah, there you go. It's Mr. Chuck Laddick. He was the artist. And if you do find a GG1 painted by him, they do go for a lot of money. And here are the giant B&O E7s coming through town. Firing up the Baldwin. It takes a little bit for that smoke unit to warm up on the Baldwin, but it smokes a lot. There it goes. And I think this engine smokes as much as a steam engine, which is crazy. Yeah, these engines are starting to smoke me out. I love it. Give you guys some log loader action so you get this fired up. All right, for some reason it's not working, of course. Hey, Matt, how's it going? I got the log loader working again. It was stuck. This is great. Whoops. I gotta see if this will work again. Hey, we're good. Oh man, I'm starting to get smoked out. Oh man. Whew. There's like a haze up in here. It's like a jazz club. Yeah, check this out. It's like a complete haze. I love it. Oh man. Yeah, if you check out the light. Oh, that's crazy. So yeah, I don't know if you can hear me, Matt, but I said hello. Welcome. DV Tech asked that thank you for the cool layout comment. Thank you so much. The loop on top is wired through this. So it's all conventionally controlled, meaning I just have track and a transformer. transformer is right there. So this is track 1 that has that B&O on it. Oops, the camera's going down even further. Awesome. Thank you for the loud and clear. This is the outer rail, which is this engine right here. Then the loop on top, there's this part here. Loop on top is being controlled by that. Track 2, where that Baldwin is controlled with this. And the ding ding is the Protosound 1 cutting on, then it dings when it cuts off. And then it just shut down. It did its run sequence. And then there's another fin on this side. Whoops. Sorry, everyone. It's right here. This isn't hooked up to anything, but I could technically run 4 trains off the same transformer. So it's basically 275 watts, which says right here. A lot of power. This thing's actually getting really warm. It's been on for a few hours now. And yeah, I got the top track powered off of that. So yeah, it's considered passive or, conventional control. But yeah, it's, it's basic. It's what they've been doing for, God, I can say it now, 100 years, which sounds insane. Lionel's been around for a long, long time. What happened to Corey? I don't know. I know he's still in school. It's finals week. I'm assuming he's getting close to finals week. So, yeah, I'm sure Corey's busy, but I think I'll probably catch him at Strasbourg one of these days. A lot of stuff in a small space. Yeah, this layout is only, surprisingly, it's only a 4x12 with the, where I am. Woo. Yeah, the layout itself is only a 4x12 platform that I built. And the yard is a new addition. That's its own little part that I added on recently. And there's my motive power shelf. And I got the workbench back there. And then here's the yard. So now I probably explained this a couple times already, but it's all good. The way the yard's wired up, it's hooked up to the outer track. So when this gets power, the yard gets power. See all the lights in the yard come on. You can see the reflection right next to the Alco. And the whole yard's powered off of that. And then so I can store engines here. You can see that, let's see that switcher on track 3. I've got dip switches down here. And you can see these toggles right here. This is track, technically 4, 3, 2, and then 1. So I'm going to move the B&O back. I'll put the B&O in neutral, the E7. Hey, Randall's back. Yeah, Matt, there's a ton of stuff up here in this small space. So yeah, let's say I want to run my switcher engine, because you can see it's off. And this is a post-war Lionel, so there are no DCC, command systems, nothing special. It's just a motor, reverse unit, forward, neutral, and reverse, and power. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go down here. My hand's right here. I'm going to hit track 3 on this toggle switch. And it's shorted out, so it's probably derailed. So let's go to the last one. This GP9 back here is my favorite. It's my Western Maryland. If I flip the switch on right here, and the way this is programmed, it's still conventionally controlled. I flip the switch to put it in drive. So it's so basic. Whoops, I have to put it in reverse. So now I'm having a battle here Whoops, let me turn this camera around slow. All right, so both my trains are in neutral. So I now have to see, I can't do it because this is a Williams train, and Williams, as soon as you apply power, here, I'll put a gap between them. As soon as you turn the power onto the Williams, all of them go forward first. So watch this. So before this PS1 engine has time to do its startup sound with the ding ding and everything, PS1 engines always start in neutral. So you can let the battery charge. There are batteries in these. It's a 9-volt battery, rechargeable battery that MTH sells. You can put also, they call it, it's a capacitor pretty much. It holds a charge for 4 hours. So you don't have to worry about the battery. But what I'm going to have to do now is actually, I'm just going to pick up the Western Maryland and send her back to our track. Because this will be an ongoing battle. All right. Now the cool thing is with the yard, something I really like doing is if you fill the yard with Protosound 1 or Protosound 2 locomotives, spin you guys around nice and slow so I don't give you guys vertigo. So I've got that Western Maryland all the way back there. The cool thing is if I'm running this Williams engine, it's stuck in forward. I can switch this track here. That goes into the yard. And when I apply power, because this engine is going to start up in neutral, if I want some more rail ambiance, I guess I can let the Protosound 1 engine just idle and kind of give like a, some backwards rail sound or background rail sound. Oh, and then when I don't want it anymore, I just basically go down to my switches. Check this one. There you go. So I've got a K4. I could actually sit in the yard, let it, go through its rail sounds program, sitting in the yard and still running something on my outer track and just let the smoke and everything, hear the sound of the steam and everything. I can do the same thing with my Baldwin locomotive. So it's just a lot of fun. Just making noise and having a great time. This hobby's pretty loud and obnoxious. I love it. And even having styrofoam, this is the underlayment piece. I still have to dress it up and everything. Everything's ballasted in. It'll still be pretty loud. So it's going to be great. Hey, the Orioles just beat the Red Sox. So those poor guys, I swear. Oh, man. It's like, I don't even know. I haven't watched a single baseball game this year. It's just a very comfortable hoodie that I love wearing. So, but yeah, it's crazy. So in that door, all my Halloween stuff is in there. The other door, it's a creepy crawl space. I don't go in that one. No way. Then this is all Christmas in here. So all my train stuff is underneath the platform, packed away, organized chaos. Because I know where everything's at. It's in totes. So yeah, it's great. Oh man. But yeah, it's gonna get crazy in the next couple weeks. Like I said, I'll be here for Monday-Runday. It's just the weekends are gonna fill up like really fast. And now with pretty much a lot of things opening back up, it's gonna be awesome to get back outside. Got some adventures planned for you guys, and some tutorials and also Knicks reviews. That's what I was thinking of. But yeah, definitely I want to get back on the Knicks reviews because I've really missed doing them. Hey Heath, I'll catch you on Friday's stream. I'm hoping I'll be home. I've been so busy with work, but I'll catch your stream no matter what. I'll at least watch it. If I'm at work or not, I'll put headphones in and go along for the ride. But thank you so much for stopping by. But yeah, I've got a few projects going on up here in the train room. I've got to mount some more metal boards and things like that. I've got this giant puzzle. I don't know if you guys remember, like in the '90s, a lot of people were doing um, work is good, pays the bills. Yeah, exactly. Sometimes pays the bills. But I love my job. I love what I do, so it makes it worth it, you know. But the what project was so back behind me? Let's see if it will reach. You guys can't really see it. This thing right here, that is a puzzle. It was a big thing in the '90s. I remember a lot of people would make puzzles and then frame them and put them up on the wall. So I've got this giant one from Lionel. It's from the I want to say it's from like the late 1980s, early '90s. It's basically a bunch of classic Lionel NPC era trains mixed with some like Blue Comet stuff, and it's just a bunch of stuff thrown up on a puzzle thing. I got that from my parents' basement. It was actually from an aunt that didn't want it anymore. She's like, just take it. You run trains, have it. So that will be hung up on the wall. I don't know where. It's a big puzzle thing. Probably in the stairwell that goes down. So that will be up. And then one of my great friends, definitely check out his channel, The Train Seekers. He and his son go all over parts of Maryland and also Central PA. He's got a lot of family that was related to the Reading line in Pennsylvania. So he gave me two, what are they? Placards, like Lionel placards. I'll grab those really quick and show you guys. But I'm very grateful and thankful. Train Seekers also gave me the transformer that powers all of the accessories on the layout. So that power brick, you know, is powering, you know, all the accessories. Amazing how that works. And it's underneath my box on the desk. It's nice and hidden under here. So I'll show you guys. So underneath my little control box is a power brick. So yeah, it's awesome. On the corridor and Philly subdivision has been dead for the past half hour. Oh wow. Are you actually there or are you watching like virtual railfan? I love doing that with puzzles. I still do them when I have a chance. Yeah, I love doing puzzles. I just remember it being like a really big thing in like the '90s, like people hanging puzzles on the wall. It's actually a kid that lived behind my house growing up. We used to play with Thomas trains. Um, we were, I think we were like 8. I was 8, and I think he was 7 or so. But he owned like every wooden Thomas train ever made. I'm not kidding with you on this. Like with the wooden track and stuff. And every time a new video would come out for Thomas, he would buy it. His parents would buy him the engine and all the cars associated to that entire season of Thomas. So we used to build these giant layouts in his basement. They would go for like, he had a big house. Like it was a bigger model than my parents' house. They bought a newer home. It was a custom build house. He got the largest model they offered in that package. Giant house. So we would run all over the basement with these wooden Thomas trains. So yeah, he was really into puzzles and his entire basement was a puzzle pretty much, like frames everywhere of like puzzles. Matt said BRB. It's all good. We'll be here. Sounds like me. Literally, oh, I live literally next to the corridor. Oh, cool, cool. All right. Yeah, Aberdeen's fun. You get to hear the old military base up there, blowing stuff up and the ground shakes and all that. I remember I used to play in a band in Aberdeen at one time, Aberdeen, Maryland, and we tried to record a song. Like, really, it was a recording studio, it was a recording band. We are basically our recording sessions would get crashed by Aberdeen testing stuff, like feeling the ground shake and hearing it's nuts. God only knows what they're doing back there. I don't want to know, but it was so much fun. Like it'd be late at night too, 8, 9 o'clock at night, hearing stuff go off. So, I didn't live around there. Actually, I'd have to drive about 35, 40 minutes up the road from where I grew up, but it was a lot of fun. My house shakes every time an NS coal train goes by. Yeah. Then did you check out the NS video I posted? It was RJ and myself. We were on that rail line, the old Pensy Northeast corridor, and we caught a coal train. And I was expecting an Amtrak. Amtrak rolls through there. God, I mean, you probably get an Amtrak train every 5, 10 minutes. Oh, you did? Awesome. Yeah, I was not expecting that. I was like, there's a train. And RJ's like, okay, cool. I'll go on my camera. And he zoomed in and it was like, yeah, what is it? And he's like, it's on. That's when he was pointing. He was like, he was saying this track. It was fun, but I was expecting an Amtrak. I really, because I promised him, because he's from um, well, I call it Eastern Pennsylvania. And they don't really get a lot of Amtrak stuff, and same with a couple other of my friends from PA. They don't have Amtrak anymore or any passenger service out there. So, hey, there's Sparky. Yeah, Sparky knows RJ. We're talking about that train we caught down where my old stomping ground is. Hey, thank you so much for stopping by. Yeah, we were at the Railroad Museum. That's another thing. So we went to the Pennsylvania Railroad Museum. Don't want to get Sparky jealous or any of you guys jealous that it was open, but we couldn't see everything. We were actually there until they closed, and it was crazy. So yeah, we were there till the umpteenth hour, and then the attendant's like, you got to leave. I was like, I don't want to leave. Like, we didn't see everything, and then they closed the yard. It was kind of bogus, but they closed the yard about 45 minutes before they closed the museum. So him and I were upstairs. He was filming something, and they went over the loudspeaker like, hey, we're closing the yard. And I was like, what? Like, no. Stuck on the railroad bridge, even watching the video made me queasy. Yeah, I gotta post my yeah, borders gotta open. Yeah, that railroad bridge was intense. Matt, did you go across the Erie Bridge? I think. Oh wait, yeah, I think you did. It's like I feel like you're on Survivor or something. It's like a task at hand. Like you have to cross the abandoned Erie Bridge to win the game or something. It was crazy. Yeah, the abandoned trestle. I think they were saying that you were there. The one outside of Scranton. Yes, yes, Scranton. Yeah, it's slightly terrifying. Um, I could do that stuff when I was younger, not showing. It the part that got me was at the end of it. Oh, let's see. Yeah, I was there twice with JP and the guys. Okay, yeah, it was my first time there, and he was like, "You ready?" And I was like, "I guess." I got to the bridge and I was like, I don't want to say the words I said, but we weren't filming at the time. I just looked at it and I was like, "Oh God, like what am I doing? What am I doing here? Like this, I'm not supposed to be here." And I walked across it. The video, I'm editing the video. I lost footage, so I lost. It's so crazy. Like, okay, the first time I tried doing a collaborative video, I lost footage because of my gimbal. My Zion gimbal crapped out on me. Wasn't cool at all. Next, I lost footage because of the audio of my action cam completely crapped out. I've returned the action cam recently. I got a new one, and I've been doing all of my YouTube stuff from the action cam thus far. So, hoping everything's still good. I still have to look at my footage from a couple other adventures Matt and I were on recently with a group of guys. But yeah, it's been crazy. But I think I got the gist of the bridge, of me crossing the bridge, because what I did wrong was basically I was filming with the gimbal and the action cam, and I think I lost footage in between going back and forth. So it's kind of crazy. Got some killer drone footage when I was there back in July. Yeah, that'd be a great place to fly a drone. There's literally nothing there and beautiful sights and the water and everything. Only words. I was pretty freaked out when I did it. Yeah, I don't blame you. I'm not going to be here like, oh, it was easy. It was not easy. The camera does not do it justice. It is the craziest thing I've ever done. Like honestly, one of the craziest things I've ever done. The second craziest thing I've ever done, I worked on a project through my one of my first jobs ever. They sent me to a pipeline, and it was a petroleum pipeline, and they had a sniffer down in the hole, and it caught fire. They were able to put it out, but that was the second craziest thing I've ever witnessed or done. Compared to that, that was scary. Like fire and petroleum usually doesn't mix very well. I have a GoPro, my phone. Did you slip on the bridge? I didn't slip, but it was windy and rainy as all get out. And then there was a thunderstorm in the distance. But also, some of the ties, Matt can vouch for this too. Some of the ties are in great shape. Then you get to some, it's like, okay, this one's bad here. The next one's bad. The next one's good. So then you have to jump it. And I think there's about 4 or 6 inches between each tie. So you do the math. It's 6-inch space, 8-inch tie, 6-inch space, or like 4-inch space. So then you have to jump 2 or 3 feet to that next tie. I mean, technically you could crawl across it, but that doesn't really make good content crawling across a bridge. But if it got too bad, I'd actually go down all fours and actually make it across. So, but I think the wind and rain really added to the what am I doing here factor. It was great. Hey, an Amtrak. Awesome. Not so scared for me on that bridge. I'd be more scared of losing the camera. Yeah, I had my gimbal in one hand. I was like shaking. I'm like, man, I'm glad this thing's like stabilized. And I might just put music to it and speed it up because it took us about 25 minutes to cross each way. And then RJ actually live streamed on the way back. It was a lot of fun. It was really cool. But if you guys ever check out that bridge, I don't want to give away the location, but if you ever check it out, make sure you're with someone that knows the area and you have supervision in case something does happen, or it doesn't have to be that bridge in particular, but any place you're not so sure about or you have safety concerns, never go by yourself. That's the first thing. Always do your research. Make sure you have communication. If something were to happen, you have a plan, first aid kit, something, be prepared. That's the best way I can say it. So, yeah, because it could be that bridge, it could be a tunnel somewhere, even on a trail. You want to carry things so you're prepared. So that's the best way I can say it. That's coming from a past Cub Boy Scout right here. Always prepared. I got a bag full of tools and stuff at all times. So I'm sure they would still hold you. Yeah, one of them. Oh wait, I missed the one that Let's see, I gotta go back up. There we go. The beams in that trestle are about 6 inches apart. You have to look down. You walk across. Yeah, yeah, I agree. It was you get a vertigo effect too with the trees at the end. It felt like the bridge was moving because the wind was so, so high. It was crazy. I'm sure they would still hold you. There was one or two of them that you could actually step on. You could actually see it really flex, and it was rotted completely through. Even RJ said, I think in the live stream he did, he's like, oh, I wouldn't. He told me, he's like, I wouldn't step on that one. So it was pretty crazy. Jay and I caught a Delaware Lackawanna train running underneath. Hey, that'd be even cooler. Like, we didn't see that, but you guys will see it earlier in the video. I caught them pulling out of the Steamtown yard, their little Steamtown yard that's there. They were taking some cars out. They had all 4 Alcos smoking up the whole place. It was a lot of fun. How many insulators did you grab? Okay, so I had 2. They were very old. They were porcelain. One was red, like a reddish color. I think it was painted. The other one was blue, and the blue one's downstairs on my TV stand. I left one there by mistake, and I don't know if someone messed with it, but I think that there was a guy on the trail as well going under the bridge to sightseeing. I'm maybe thinking he messed with it or something, or took it himself, because RJ was like, hey, sit them off the side. We'll get them on the way back, so you're not hauling them across the bridge and then across the bridge again, then 3-mile hike back to the car. So, or a truck. In his case, it's definitely a truck, not a car. But yeah, I got 1 insulator out of that. And I also took, excuse me, I took a rail spike, which I actually have all my rail spikes labeled so I can tell where they're from before I forgot where each one was from. So the rail spike collection is coming along as well. Hey, CA&P, how's it going? Welcome to the stream, and it's all good. We'll be here for a little bit longer. What time is it? 10:09. Yeah, good half hour or so. Let's see. Oh, yeah, always stay safe. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, like I said, always go somewhere if you're not too sure with it with other people. It always helps to film in a group. What was it like? Safety in numbers. That's the other quote that I like to say. If I'm down the street on the rail trail, walking or riding my bike, I'll be fine. I know the trail. There's nothing there. It's gonna hurt, hurt me other than other people, or unless I jump in front of the train. But I'm talking like abandoned locations and other filming locations. Always, go with other people. It's the best way to say it. Got drone footage of it. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Like, I got to get a drone. It's between Matt, Randy, and JP's fault. And their channels are Matt PG, as you guys can see, Jay from JP Videos, and then also Randy from Emerald Sound Production. Definitely check out their channels. They do a little bit of everything, and exploring railroad stuff, historical stuff, mostly historical things like that. And we sometimes all meet up at a location and film, so you guys will see them here and there. But they all have drones. I do not have a drone. Yeah, drone addicts. Yeah, I definitely need a drone. I love doing aerial photography. I did it in school and all that stuff. Wizard of Oz production. Hey, Jay, how's it going? Yeah, sure. Guess like Wizard of Oz production. I didn't come up with that. It's only funny because Jay said it to him. But no, there go the crossing gates, of course. Haunted attic. Oh my god. It's going off again. I'm gonna turn them off. Whew, freaking me out up here. Oh god, Sparky. Thanks. Thank you so much. Oh man, you guys crack me up. Great time watching. The guy's a wash. No, no. Oh my god. Yeah, of course Jay comes into the channel and then all of a sudden like the crossing gates go on and freaking me out up here. It's awesome. Ugh. Phew. But yeah, no, the unhaunted attic. But like I said, tons of Halloween stuff in there. I can't wait to film that this year. I don't know where I'm going to set it up. I set up in front of the house. We didn't have any trick or treaters last year. So I might do like a trunk or treat type thing, but it's going to be like a lot. So I'll definitely need some more real estate and some more help, help to spread out all the decorations. But I definitely want people to see the decorations. I've got 20 plus years worth of Halloween stuff in that closet. So it's crazy. Don't worry, Spark. I only read select comments. Oh my God. That is good. Train or treat. Hey, that'd be cool. I think they did a trunk or treat in the neighborhood here. Just everything with COVID, you guys know the drill. Everything COVID, everything, yeah. But yeah, I'm hoping I'm bringing. So that is JP videos. If anyone hasn't checked out his channel, we've same with Matt. We've all been out on sites before filming things like that. But I'll be bringing the portable N scale setup to his meet and greet at Horseshoe Curve. I'm going to run my trains at Horseshoe Curve in the box. Well, take it out of the box, then run it on the ground. So it should be kind of fun. I'm looking at purchasing an N scale GP9 to kind of mimic the GP9 that they have at Horseshoe Curve. So I think it'll be a lot of fun. Don't watch my stuff. I'll be there both days. Yeah, same here. I was actually joking with Jay earlier. I was like, yeah, if we're all staying at the same place, it's gonna be like Animal House. Someone needs to bring like a keg. Or cold. I'm sorry, I have to be family friendly. Cold snacks. There you go. That's the best. Actually, that's like one of the best cover up terms I've ever heard. That's from Matt. You should copyright that. Or if you made a shirt of it, said cold snack, it'd be awesome. So reverse psychology. If I can make it, I'll be there. Oh wait, sorry. If I can make it, oh God. 2 beds. I mean, he might make you sleep on the floor. I mean, at least you're staying somewhere, right? I'll have some cold snacks for sure. Yeah, I'm thinking about bringing. So if anyone's interested, Jay's doing a meetup at Altoona. Check out his channel for all the details. But I'll be there. My first time in Altoona. We're doing 2 official locations there, but there's tons of other things to do up there that are railroad related, like rail fanning and the museum and all kinds of cool stuff. I originally wanted to take an Amtrak up there, but then once you get there, it's like, what do I do? I don't have a car. I don't want to Uber, and I also don't want to tax that on, someone driving myself around. That's not very fair. So, oh God, a certain someone ruined having anyone share a room with me and can't stay up all night with a possible Altoona is a really nice town. Yeah, I think. Yeah, hopefully we're all welcome back to Altoona once this trip is over. I know it was a short stay, but off the sleep land. Hey, Sparky, thank you so much for stopping by. Hopefully those borders open soon. We can all meet up at Steamtown or something, or the Pennsylvania. So yeah, it's gotten better, but when I was working out and things like that, it was really helping. But I stopped working out. I'm going to actually start going to the gym soon as well. So it's all good. I was there on business years ago. Yeah, I would love to check it out. Oh, I am checking it out, but I wanted to check it out earlier. It's just, I didn't really know about all the other stuff. Hey, have a good night, Sparky. It's just been crazy. I've always wanted to check out Altoona. I know all the railroad history, and the first time I ever had an interest in Altoona was actually watching the Ghost Hunters episode. It was I think it was one of their first seasons, like 1 through 3. I'll give you that time span because it had the original. I forgot who it was, but it was the original lineup. The show was really, it had some cheese factor to it, and they're still meeting up in that trailer. It said like Taps. It's like a trailer in a construction yard somewhere, and that was my first time looking at Altoona because they went to the Heritage or the Railroaders Heritage Museum or Memorial Museum. That's the term I'm looking for, and they did an investigation there. So that was the first time um, being open to Altoona. And since then, I'm like, man, I want to go. I want to go. I just didn't know the train history and stuff like that until of recent, YouTube, things like that. I didn't know how far away it was. It's a bunch of excuses. I should have been there before, but this June I'll be there. So it's going to be awesome. Seriously, I'd rather hike than lift things up and put them down. Yeah, I agree. And Matt, I've got stuff around the rail trail. Eventually, if you ever make it over this way, the really far drive, I want to show you the Howard Tunnel, things like that. So it'd be really cool. Just don't screw up the days and locations. I mean, that'd be my fault. I'd be like, hey, where are you guys? Be like, hello. Yeah, I plan on not screwing it up, especially spending the amount of money for the hotel. And the funny thing is, so I typed in the hotel stuff today. So I have AAA, like the AAA card, and for some reason, it costs more on the AAA card than it would just getting a normal night. So I don't understand how that worked, but I'm just like on Wednesday when I purchased the hotel, that's just how it all played out. Really strange how that happened. But one of these days, I will take an Amtrak to Altoona and go on foot, maybe do a day trip, something like that. It's probably a couple hours on a train. And the other thing that was weird, so looking at the Amtrak times for Altoona, even lining up to the trip, I'd actually have to. They had, like, I think 3 trains going through, and it's part of the Pennsylvanian, I think, or something sort of like that same line. One of the days, I think on Saturday, the train left Harrisburg at 11. You get there at like 3 or 4. Not very helpful. Sunday, I think the train left at 10, and you get back here at like 2:30, 3 o'clock. So, Altoona is 3 hours from Harrisburg, but you arrive after the museum is closed. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. It's so weird. I thought they would have like an earlier business train. Like if they had a 6 a.m. train, I'd be on it. Like, cool. I'll take it out there. I'll spend I think it's like 30 some dollars for each way. I'll take it. Like they'll save me mileage on my car and all that stuff. And then taking Ubers when I get to like Altoona, but it's whatever. I mean, I'll be fine. I'm going to drive up there. It'd be awesome. So I'm not worried about it. Altoona. Oh, wait. Sorry. Looking forward to my first overnight trip this year. Yeah, I think. Is this my first trip this year? Yeah, now I think about it. Yeah, this is my first overnight trip in about 2 years because of all the stuff, COVID stuff. Yep. Pennsylvania 43 goes west daily. Yeah, I eventually do want to take a train. And Nikki and I have talked about it. So we would like to film a train ride doing either a westbound train somewhere out west, obviously, but we want to book a roomette. And for anyone who doesn't know what a roomette is, basically you get your own little room, hence the roomette, has a private bathroom, a bed, a bunk bed that pulls down from the ceiling. you have a flatbed that I think the chairs move out of the way. It creates a flatbed area, and then you also have a um, area to plug your equipment in, like your phones and camera gear if you're filming. You have full access to the what is it? There's certain dining room cars on those that are included with your trip, so you actually get to enjoy a meal. But because of COVID, you have to take the meal back. In some cases, I've seen videos on YouTube. Nikki would know what YouTuber that is, but she does is Amtrak. Uh, all she does is book trips with her husband, and they go all over the place and they review Amtrak trains. What did Nikki say? Where they want to do the room at? Yeah, it seems like a great experience. Like I'm really excited for that. They deliver it to your room currently. Okay, yeah, because she was on a train. Like I said, I apologize. Her channel is well respected. She's got a great following and everything. Uh, Basically, she went on one trip. She was allowed to eat in the dining room as socially distanced, and I think it was an observation dining hall type of thing, like a snack bar type car. And then she was given the food at her room door. Basically, someone would knock, you open up the door, and there's your food, pre-packaged and everything. So a little bit different. So maybe that was before the pandemic. It could have just been an older video or something like that. Watch a few Amtrak travel channels. Going to do cross country Amtrak trip this year. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Like that's what Nikki and I are planning. I was joking earlier. If I took an Amtrak to Florida, it would burn up literally my entire vacation that I'm given through my job. So I'd rather spend the time at the site than taking Amtrak. So maybe make the trip Amtrak and maybe hook it up to a weekend. Yeah, that would be really cool. And it's relatively well for what you get, like meals and entertainment and amenities and a place to lay your head at night. It's definitely worth it compared to flying because you don't really get to see as many sights flying, but it's an overall experience. That's the best way I can explain it. Like that Amtrak ride is and will make your vacation. I've been on some of the worst flights in my entire life. Just going down to like Disney World or um, a long time ago, I flew out to Ohio to see. Basically, it was another family that it was an ex girlfriend's family. We flew out to Ohio. I came back. My flight was delayed 6 hours. I got home at 4 in the morning. Had to go to the work the next day. And Ohio was only, I think it was an hour flight, 45 minutes from Columbus to BWI. It was insane. Lots of pre planning. The Empire Builder and other cross country trains are running 3 days a week, about 25 hours total on a train. Yeah, that would definitely be an experience. I just hope it's the only the only major complaint I've heard on Amtrak is that their facilities could be cleaner, like their bathrooms. Um I don't know about the roomette bathrooms. They're probably going to be very clean, but I've heard that the 52 hours. Oh, so that's different than or 25 hours. But yeah, the only complaint I've heard was that the bathrooms could be cleaner on most trains, and also the windows. I know in Jay's video, he made the comment of the windows could have been cleaner. That's true, and I've heard that from other channels as well, just because of brake dust and just dirt. But yeah, that's the main thing I've heard, and I've heard the food's okay as well. Um, it's past it's gonna be all right. At least it's better than like an airplane can of mystery meat. It says, unless you eat the fish on the airplane. Moonlight Theater reopened. I'll have to check that out. It sounds pretty cool. And now I'm thinking about it. The Ghost Hunters, when they were at Altoona, they did the Railroad Museum and the Mishler Theater. I don't think they found anything at the Mishler Theater, but the Railroad Museum, what was it? The Heritage Railroad Museum, I think the only thing they found was like a chair was like in the middle of an aisleway or something, and they caught like one EVP, if that, and that was it. Wasn't too much of a crazy investigation, but I'm sure at night that'd be a pretty creepy place to be at because there are lots of mannequins. Mannequins freak me out. Even as a amateur historian, I you see mannequins everywhere, like every museum you go to, things like that. They still make me like just uneasy. Yeah, Matt, I enjoy flying for the most part. Like the experience of taking off. Landing, I'm not too cool with landing. I know you have to land once you take off, but if I put a good like metal song in my ears, my favorite takeoff song ever is Hangar 18 by Megadeth. If you guys know that song, that's a great takeoff song. Awesome. But yeah, taking off is great. The flight, depending on like turbulence, it's good to go. But landing, I've had some rough landings before, and it's pretty weird. The movie Manic. Yeah, it's like the Twilight Zone episode. They're oh man, what was it? They're like in a department store and they're like, come join us, and like the mannequins move. It's really creepy. But what it basically is, I think the twist is that the main character is a mannequin and she just hasn't accepted it, that she's not human. It's a crazy episode, but that is an awesome one. That's classic. I tell you, there was nothing like flying from Langley AFB in VA all the way to Saudi Arabia. Wow. That is that's one heck of a flight. The longest flight I've ever done, which it is not compared. Whoops, sorry, hitting the mic. Not even close to comparing that. The furthest flight I've ever had was Dulles in DC or Virginia, really, to gosh, what was it? France's airport. But the crappy thing with that trip was it was a trip to England, and for some reason it was cheaper to fly from Dulles to France than France across the channel to Heathrow. That was a weird flight. They put us on an Airbus. It was just weird, and they still fed us. It was only like a 25-minute flight across the English Channel. From the time we picked up and landed, it was like 25 minutes. But they still fed us. It was weird. It was really weird. They gave us like a breakfast and coffee, water, or soda. It was just strange. On the flight, it was Air France. They fed us breakfast in the morning. They gave us a dinner option. The dinner was really weird. It was all canned food pretty much. They take the cans off for it. It's all in a preheated dish, but everything was extremely salty, which is because I watched a show on this. They said like when your taste buds are up in the air, they lose reception of like flavor because of the altitude and oxygen levels and all that stuff. So they inject a ton of salt in your food. But the thing was, I tasted every bit of the salt. It was horrible. And I think they also threw in a Vegemite. But you guys haven't had Vegemite? It's like a brick of it's like licking deer. So yeah, leg room for sure. I just read that comment. Yeah, definitely. Flew recently. I wish I was on a train instead. And so little leg and shoulder room on a plane. Yeah, and also when I flew out to Nashville for band stuff, and we did some partying too. For the band stuff. It was a rough weekend, let's just say that. My flight canceled from Spirit that night. It was horrible. So Yeah, usually trains don't get canceled unless there's some type of disaster or a derailment, like which is a disaster in my opinion. But usually trains just don't get grounded or canceled. You know, got to head out for the night. All right, Jamie, thank you so much for stopping by. Moonlight, Pennsylvania or Virginia? I know. I think Gus is from the Virginia area. Yeah, it's actually getting pretty late. Can do another run of trains and then I'll call the stream. But I'm gonna get these trains a rolling one last time. It's already 10:30. Hey Henry, how's it going? Oh wait, Matt said pain. I've driven to Florida from PA. Oh, I feel your pin. Pain, yeah. Yeah, we did that once. It was a mistake. We went from where my parents live in Baltimore all the way down to Florida. We drove and our car broke down. It was a Volvo too, so that no one could fix it. That's like the worst thing with Volvo ever. Everyone would like look up, like people. We were in a parking lot outside of Virginia, and people would walk up to my mom's car and say, "Oh, you guys need help with something? I'm a mechanic." And then we'd open up the hood, and they'd walk away and say, "Oh, I can't help you." Even like the tow truck guy, he's like, um, you know, basically the tow truck guy was like, yeah, if it wasn't a Volvo, I could actually fix this. I think it's something with a sensor. All it had to do was be, removed and the car would still work. But Volvo is completely shut down when sensors are up. It doesn't give you like the option. It puts you like in a low gear, like they call it like a safety, and it sucks. So yeah. Oh, the theater was saved. A Vegemite sandwich. Yeah, that stuff's reek. It's pretty strong. John Doe, the NCR station is certified to be haunted by two spirits, courtesy of the Dover Paranormal Society. Which station are you talking about? The one that you guys operate out of, or the New Freedom station? Been to Florida and back 4 or 5 times in the past year. Drive one way and fly back. Not a bad trip once you get past VA. Yeah, VA, Virginia can be pretty rough. I think Georgia was kind of hectic when we drove through, but we went pretty early in the morning. We left. Well, we did. We split the trip in half. So we spent the night in North Carolina. No, South Carolina. We spent the night in South Carolina. It was a rough drive. Hey, Jay, I'll see you around. Um, yeah, it's gonna be awesome. Got a bunch of trips planned, so it's gonna be a busy month. But yeah, if anyone hasn't driven down that far, it's rough and it usually kills a lot of cars. Um, like I have a friend that drives back and forth from, well, basically Nashville, and he's actually going to drive up for our show, and it's going to be nuts. And I forgot to mention that too. My band is actually playing another show, like a very large show at, they call it Power Plant down in Baltimore City. So if anyone's interested of attending that, the tickets will be on Power Plant's website. Definitely check it out. It's a very large venue. It's going to be one of the biggest concerts pretty much of this year in Baltimore, because Baltimore has been shut down. But if anyone's interested in supporting that, I believe it's $15 a ticket. And if you show up and join the festivities, you get a free mixed drink or a drink of your choice. Our band we're given the choice of a few different drinks, and we chose a hurricane. So if you buy tickets for the show and you show up, it's a free drink. Of course, 21 over. Unfortunately, it is a 21 over show just because of the alcohol being sold. But we're headlining that show at Power Plant Live downtown. So if anyone has any questions to that, just send me a Facebook message. It's going to be an awesome show. It's going to be a crazy, crazy night. Next year, I like to get to Tennessee and Kentucky to explore. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff in Tennessee, and it is a lot of fun. Um, yeah, definitely like well, not so much Broadway. So if anyone has ever been to Nashville, you get the tourist strip, which goes right through the center of Nashville. It's called Broadway. That's where you have like Jason Aldean's bar and Kid Rock's bar that he always shows up at completely, wasted and whatever and says interesting things. You also have like the original Honky Tonk and the Johnny Cash Museum, all on that strip, right in the center of town. If you go off the beaten path, you can actually find a lot of other cooler, more secluded bars and things. And that's the stuff I really enjoyed because I've never been really into the club atmosphere or like the club, everything to do with clubs, like just people everywhere. You have to do the one shoulder thing to get through. And also just drunk, obnoxious people. So we actually went to a bar. It was called the Crying Wolf down in Nashville. It was one of my favorite bars I've ever been to. They had over 40 different types of canned beer, all from all over the country, and it was just crazy. But my favorite beer they had was called Emergency Beer. It looked like a survival, basically like a survival can, and it says for emergencies only, and it tasted great. I think it was like a pale ale, and they were selling them for like 250 a piece. And Nashville, the liquor is cheap, so um, it's a great time. It's more affordable to go out and drinking and stuff, and trying all different kinds of beer. It was awesome. Must have been talking about 181 or 81. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think we just took 95 straight down to Florida. It was crazy. Let me grab a drink. But yeah, the Crying Wolf was insane. You guys can probably look it up online. The Crying Wolf in Nashville, and they basically had like wolf. It felt like I was like in the underworld. They had like wolf heads all over the walls. It was kind of morbid, but it was right after Halloween. But it was like a darker themed bar, but it was advertised as like one of the largest collections of beer assortments on the planet. It was awesome. Planning quite a bit for Baltimore and the surrounding areas over the next few months. Yeah, let me know. I was born and raised in Baltimore. I know a couple cool spots still, and also there's a lot of cool stuff out in Frederick County. And what else? Harford County is also a really nice spot too, which isn't too far away from where Matt and I are from. Like Harford County is literally, I think it's like 20 miles that way. But there's a lot of really cool history spots up there too. USS Torx, yeah, yes, the old sub. Um, so Matt, there's the boat tour down in the harbor. So if anyone has ever been to Baltimore, or if you ever plan on going, um, the area where the touristy stuff is, it's safe. I can guarantee it's safe. I grew up around Baltimore. I'm not too fond of Baltimore. I work on and about Baltimore, but where the Torsk, USS Torsk is, um, there's a collection of very historical boats and nautical pieces, and they actually have a Coast Guard painted ship to the right of the pier where the Torsk is, and that is one of the surviving boats of Pearl Harbor. And it was bombed, it was shot up, and everything. It survived. They don't know how, but it was painted all battleship gray at one time. But that ship survived, so it's really cool. The station where the steam engine lives, huh? Hey, man, it's all good. It's yeah, I have issues saying Torsk. it's a weird it's a weird word, but yeah, the sub is there. I think it's an old diesel. I don't think it's not a nuclear sub. I think it's just a diesel sub. But yeah, it's oh man, what was it? I haven't been on the Torsk before. I've been on or about the Constellation, which is all there. So they have the Constellation, they have the Torsk, they have the Coast Guard ship that's there. They have a couple other pieces that are there. I'd love to check them out. And I think it's like 30 or 40 bucks. You can go on all the boats. Oh, there's a Nikki.
A Nikki?
Yeah.
There's more than one.
Yeah. So if you guys are ever interested in that, I'd love to check out those boats. Matt, if you ever want to do that, just let me know. I've haven't been on the other boats, but there's about, I think there's 5 or 6 boats that you can go on, or ships. What are you doing?
Scooting over.
Oh, let me scoot this way.
No, wow, rude.
Sorry, I'm not laughing at you. I forgot to unmute the mic. I had to tell Nikki something. And she was saying stuff, and I was just sitting here laughing. So she's like, I love the Torsk. And I'm like sitting here laughing. But yeah, I'd love to plan that out. The aquarium's down there, but the aquarium is so expensive. Nikki needs to request off. She may not have to request off soon. She may have better things in the wall. She may have better things arriving. So I'm hoping that falls through. But yeah, the maritime trip, that would be awesome. I also want to check out the B&O Railroad Museum again. And also I'll be at the B&O either August. I'm going to get this wrong. I think it's the 14th or the 15th. They're doing something called the Diesel Day, which is they take every piece of running motive power and they run it on their tracks. They do like a parade. So they line them all up and they basically set up a PA system and they say, hey, this engine is a GP7 built by this date. And then they run it right there. They send it down the track to the end of the line and they bring them back and they showcase every piece of running diesel locomotive that they have. It's my first time doing that. And I called the B&O and they called me back, which I was surprised. They finally called me back. I was like, yeah, I run a YouTube channel. I'd love to come out and film. So yeah, Diesel Day would be cool. Yeah, it's called Diesel Days. They did it once. I think it was last year. No, sorry, it would have been 2018 or 2019. But yeah, I'm excited for that. They have some great pieces, great classic pieces of motive power. And I'd like to check out their EMC that they fixed up. I think it was the E. Oh God, why can't I think of it? It's drawing a blank, but the brand new, newly repaired diesel. So I'll be in New York that weekend. I'll be exploring. Oh wow. That's gonna be an awesome trip too. I'm sure there's tons and tons of like military things off the Hudson from way back when. They run that fancy E unit. That's it. Yeah. It's a brand new, newly restored EMC. I forgot the model. I don't know if I forgot it's like an E something, but it's EMC. It's ancient and it looks amazing, but it does not run, unfortunately. Wow, Revolutionary War. Yeah, what was it? I think Kennywood Park is actually built on top of a French and Indian War battleground. I don't know if you guys knew that at all. E3, is that it? They have the E3. Then it must be the E3 that they fixed up. I knew it was E something, but EMC E3. Amazing locomotive. Looks like a crazy, crazy piece of art. It's beautiful. But yeah, let me run my E7. I'll let you guys look at all those. Then I'll call the stream. I'm going to run these trains one last time for the night. And then I'm going to call it because it's getting pretty late. And I unfortunately have to wake up early for work.
Me too.
And the actual town of Sleepy Hollow, there's a headless horseman statue. What? That's so cool. That is crazy cool. Yeah, they've actually, what was it? If we get out there, so we're planning on going to Disney, maybe this fall. I'm not sure when. The COVID stuff is like insane, and I'm not waiting.
Might be this fall, but it could also be next winter or early.
I'm thinking later winter because they're doing the 50th anniversary too at Disney World. So it's gonna be a nightmare riding stuff and getting in line, and it's gonna draw people in. It might be later summer, maybe August-ish, early fall, because we would like to go to the Halloween party, which they just renamed, but they have a headless horseman there, and that's why that reminded me of that. Excuse me. And it's a headless horseman on an actual horse, and they have him go through town, and then they have shovelers they're the grave diggers, which are pretty cool. They have like shovels that spark through the whole parade. And the best part about the Halloween party, from what I've heard, they turn off all of the lights in Space Mountain. So it's completely dark. No stars, no planets going above. It's just you on a very dark roller coaster. So how much cooler could that be? But I'm going to run these trains. I could talk about Disney all night. I could talk about, train stuff.
Talk about Disney all night.
Yeah. But here we go. Let's get these guys running again. All right. And there's the new water tower. I didn't give you guys a view of the new tower, so I'll bring the camera over that way. That's my fault. Oh. Here we go. Whoops. Bring you guys up a little bit. And here, I'll crank you guys up. All right, so there is the new fancy water tower. I love it. But here I'm going to run these trains around a couple more times, and then there we go. Hey, Matt, have a great night. Thank you so much for stopping by. I'll see you soon. Hey, Gus, thank you so much. Yeah, I know I call it the train garden. Which someone told me that's a Baltimore thing to say. It's like train garden instead of train layout. So we get the ice maker to work, or the icing station. All right, let's see if it works tonight. So here we go. There we go. It's working. Whoops. He's so strong he can push the whole station. Look at that. Thank you so much. All right, everyone. So I'm gonna call the stream. It's getting pretty late. I gotta wake up early tomorrow for work. But yeah, it's 11 o'clock. Whew. Yeah, a little over almost 3 hours, 250. So yeah, I want to thank you all so much for joining me. And we're almost at 300 subs. So uh, it's awesome. I think I think it's like 280. It fluctuates here or there because, there's always the real YouTube profiles that do sub, and there's also fake ones every time. For any of you guys that are creators, you do run into that. You get fake comments, fake all kinds of weird stuff. But anyways, thank you all so much for your support for the channel. Stay tuned for other adventures that are on the way. I've got tons of railroad stuff and historical stuff planned out for the month of May and starting in June. June is filling up fast. Hey, Wicked, how's it going? I'm actually calling the stream. But yeah, it's just been a crazy, crazy month so far. I've got, just to give you guys the rundown, even though I'm turning the stream off soon. So this weekend I'll be somewhere with some other YouTubers. I don't want to give away the location. I still have to upload my bridge walk video that I did. I've got the Railroad Pennsylvania to post as well. I've got a meet and greet that we did at Fort Howard State Park down in the Baltimore area. I've got a couple of meet and greets coming up on top of normal railroad stuff. Centralia, look out for that video. And not last but not least, Strasburg. When I have time, I will be posting more Nick's reviews. Like I really enjoy doing those videos. And now that I got my portable sports cam back that I do a lot of my vlogging through, that's going to be a priority of the channel too, to put more. Oh God, I forgot my coffee. Yeah, me too. But yeah, I've got a lot of ideas planned for reviews, DIY projects. I'd like to do a video of tricks of the trade, do a couple of tutorials like that to show you guys things that I've picked up over time, just basic maintenance, DIY project type things to keep your railroads running strong, just like this one. But anyways, everyone, I'd like to thank you all so much. Excuse me. My coffee cup is 40 ounces. Okay. That's an awesome. That is a flask. That's a vessel right there. But yeah, everyone, thank you so much. We're on the road to 1,000. That's, I need to make a shirt or something like that says that. But you guys are the greatest. And thank you all for coming in every Monday. And also anyone who watches the replays, thank you so much for watching that. I do see a lot of replays, which is really cool. Because I know some people work and, they enjoy watching the trains and hearing the, the live streams every week. It's really cool. But stay tuned, everyone. It's going to be a busy, busy month. So buckle up. A lot of editing, a lot of good stuff coming your way. Anyway, God, see, it's getting late. Anyway, everyone, thank you so much for the live stream. If you're new, consider subscribing. If you're here, please stay. We love you. But until next time, happy railroading. Stay safe, everyone. And we'll see you in future videos just like this. Have a great night. Do you want to say good night?
Good night, everybody.
And that's Nikki over there. Good night, everyone.